This is a review on the LG Optimus One, the P500, which has been released on 2 Degrees in New Zealand. It is also due out on Vodafone and Telecom as well at some stage in the future. However, now that we've got the device, we thought we'd have a bit of a look at it and show you what it does. So let's take a look at a bit of the specs. First of all, 600 megahertz processor. Now that's the same sort of processor that you're going to get in the Samsung Galaxy 5 on Telecom. However, that's probably where the similarities end, because you get 2.2 Android standard with this one, with an upgrade path to 2.3 as well. It's got in-drive sat-nav software built into the phone, which is fantastic as well, and you can choose the maps. Obviously you choose the New Zealand maps for that one, which means you're not using data as you're going around using the GPS. It's also got a cradle that comes standard with this phone as well, which is fantastic, so you can use it in the car. It's got a proximity sensor, which a lot of the budget devices certainly don't have. 3.2-inch HVGA screen. Now that makes a massive difference, let me tell you. Most of the budget devices, 2.8 QVGA screens. This one leaves it for dead. Multi-touch available on this as well, 2-point multi-touch, so that's fantastic. It's also got 7.2 megabits HSDPA. It's got a 1500 milliamp hour battery, a 3.2 megapixel camera with autofocus in there as well, FM radio, of course, accelerometer and compass. It's got a 2 gigabyte card included, SD card. It's got some APKs on it which you can install yourself that LG have provided, plus it also means that your maps are on there as well. It's got Bluetooth, also Wi-Fi G, and you can upgrade it to a 32 gigabyte card if you need to. So let's take a look at a bit of a hands-on of this device. Maybe we should show you through it first. This has still got the screen protector on it, which I find quite handy. The speaker up the top here, that also doubles as your hands-free as well. So that's quite different. A lot of the devices we've seen have had a hands-free on the back. This one's got the hands-free just where the normal speaker is on the front, and it seems to work reasonably well. This is kind of a weird sort of button down here. It's a rocker button for the home and back, but it works quite effectively. It's just, I don't think it's the nicest in the world. The menu button there, of course, search, and if we have a bit of a look around the device itself, we've got the volume up and down here, which are, they're nice. This kind of metal look is great. You've got your microphone and the USB as well. Over this side, nothing to speak of. Then you've got the 3.5 millimeter jack for plugging in your sounds, your headphones, and the power on and off there as well. So it's a nice looking device, and the 3.2 screen also makes a huge difference. Just show you a bit of a comparison here with what that means. If we take a look at the Samsung device, this is the Galaxy 5, and the Samsung Galaxy 5, you'll notice there is quite a bit smaller, and then if we compare it also to the likes of the iPhone, you'll notice that the iPhone has a little bit bigger screen as well, but really there's not a huge amount in it. 3.2 inch screen is pretty good, especially for the price of this device as well. It's listed at $449. That includes the cradle as well, but a lot of places doing it for under $350 at the moment, so that's pretty impressive. So let's take a bit of a look at the software interface, and I haven't really changed anything major on this device, so it's really as it was provided to us. If you look at the applications here, you'll notice that this does look quite a bit different. This is the main sort of menu screen, and LG have got some applications there, application advisor, that you can take a bit of a look at. The car home also is an interesting sort of feature as well. This is if you're sort of in the car and you want to have a bit of a tutu with your phone. It sort of breaks it down into these easy to see patterns on the screen. What else is in here? Well, you've got pretty much the same as what you've got on other Android devices. They've baked in Facebook and Twitter as well. There's also an Office application in there too. You'll notice InDrive is there. We talked about that a little bit earlier. That is the sat-nav program that comes with the LG, and of course having the cradle there as well. Pretty sensational, you've got to say. Swipe is also included on this phone, and we've seen that on a lot of Samsung devices, and LG have got it there too. So that's great. Swipe does make quite a big difference, and it's nice to have it there. It's also got the ability to play DivX as well. Your DivX videos, it plays them out of the box, so that's great. Haven't had a lot of trouble with different file formats. It seems to be able to handle the majority of those. Obviously, you need a fairly decent sized card if you want to be using the DivX player, because you're looking at about 700 odd megs, aren't you, for a DivX movie, so you'll need a decent sized SD card in there as well. Downloaded a couple of applications, and when you download them, it goes under another subheading of downloads. One of the things that's been quite frustrating for a lot of people with Android is if you download something from the market, then you've got to go back into the menu to find it. And some phones, they will have it sorted alphabetically, others will end up in all sorts of places. This is quite nice because it actually segments them, and you can change them, you can add categories as well. So that's just a bit of a customization that LG have added to the phone. If you look down the bottom here, you'll see this is kind of like the HTC Sense, where they've put this little rounded dock at the bottom, and you can dock the things that you use most regularly there as well. So other than that, it's pretty standard Android. If you have a bit of a look through, you'll see it scrolls quite nicely. These were the widgets that came with the phone, and you can have 5 or 7 home screens on this device. As I say, scrolls reasonably well. You can put whatever widgets on there that you want, quite like the bookmark widget, which some of you may have used, so that you can just hit the button and it goes straight to some of your bookmarks. So, you know, that's quite a nice feature as well. Text messaging is down the bottom there. The dialer is a pretty standard sort of Android dialer, nothing too sensational about that. If we take a look at the browser is pretty good. If you are used to the Android browser, that's great. This is on a mobile site, so we can't use the multi-touch on a mobile site because it's the right size for the screen, but multi-touch does work in the browser and does work very, very well. So if we go to something here, maybe if we go to the full site of the New Zealand Herald, let's push that button there, go to the full site, and then we'll be able to use the multi-touch in there, and just have a quick example of how that works. It's just loading the site there. It's just on the Wi-Fi, so things are a bit slow. Just wait for that to load itself up. So while it's doing that, obviously it's got Wi-Fi connectivity, but HSDPA, and it's 7.2 as well. So if you're tethering this device, that's pretty good for you. It's going to mean that you're going to be able to get some pretty good speed when you're tethering this device. Because it's on Android 2.2, the hotspot is baked into it as well. So you're going to be able to use it to share with other phones or your laptop or whatever it happens to be, and turn it into a Wi-Fi hotspot. You've got a 1500 milliamp hour battery in there as well, so that's going to be good for you too. Alright, so if we just take a quick look at the multi-touch here, it's not too bad. It's a little jerky, but when we compare the price of this device and the speed of it at 600 megahertz, when you're looking at some of the bigger devices, the likes of the Galaxy S, which has got a 1 gig processor, it actually performs pretty well. So I would be happy to certainly recommend this device at its price point of $449, and when it gets below the sort of $400 mark, it's a real steal. The 3.2 inch screen does make a massive difference. It really does over the 2.8 size screen here. You've got to say that it is absolutely massive. The difference in that small amount of space does make a huge difference. Also, remember with the market as well, with an HVGA screen, you're going to be able to download a whole lot more as well, because some of the applications don't work on the smaller QVGA screens of the likes of that device. So there we are. That is the LG P500 Optimus One, and available on 2 degrees. I hope you enjoy it.